We're getting our pure XRP spot ETF this week. And in addition to that, some big news. The CFTC looks like they want to classify XRP as a commodity, not security. And some of you might be saying, well, Wendy, XRP is not a security on the secondary market. That was ruled under the unjust lawsuit, the SEC versus Ripple, and Judge Torres says, no, XRP is not a security on the secondary market, basically when you sell it on an open exchange like Kraken, Coinbase, etc. But this is incredibly important because this helps pave the way for the future. So let's go ahead and talk about this statement from the CFTC and the difference between the XRP spot ETFs, because it is incredibly important because they're not the same. And I know it's really complicated. I'm a little bit confused myself, and that's why I make these videos for you guys. Share and subscribe. So let's go ahead and talk about the CFTC. U.S. Senate bill could officially classify XRP as a commodity under CFTC oversight. And yes, we are still technically shut down. So it's even crazy that we're getting this information because we got a lot of other fish to fry, but I digress. The new bipartisan discussion draft from the Senate AG committee proposes classifying XRP and other major cryptos as commodities, placing them under the CFTC regulation instead of the SEC. The legislation affirms self-custody rights and clarifies that software devs and blockchain infrastructure providers are not financial institutions for non-custodial roles. So we know that XRP is not a security on the secondary market as well, but we still don't really have any type of classification because, again, under the previous administration, we weren't really given anything other than just lawsuits being passed out for literally no reason. So this is good. And this will also kind of help to push forward other kind of classifications with other cryptos. So now let's get into the differences with the XRP spot ETFs. So we had the Rex OSPREY spot ETF that already dropped earlier this year, which is not a pure spot XRP ETF, but now we're getting one. So the Rex OSPREY XRP ETF, XRPR, offers U.S. investors exposure to XRP via a fund structured under the Investment Company Act of 1940. It holds a majority of its assets in XRP, but also invests in other products and may use derivatives, which means this is not considered a pure spot ETF because it may invest in other products and use derivatives. It's not pure. Now, the Canary spot XRP ETF, XRPC, is a pure spot ETF structured under a fund under the Securities Act of 1933. So they're two separate. Rex OSPREY used 1940s securities laws and Canary used 1930s securities laws. And because of how it's classified under the Securities Act of 1933, it means it will hold 100% XRP. And it is supposed to launch this week. So again, this is going to be a pure XRP ETF. And as far as volume goes and number going up, you're going to have to be patient with that because the whole entire market is doing its thing. Either way, this is good, fundamental, bullish news for XRP long term. Goodbye.